All right, so we're gonna start the question and answer session here. For the people that are actually watching now, go ahead right now and then start putting in questions, and then Nico will actually just fire the questions out. I am gonna answer one thing though, just from someone that actually messaged me this morning. He's just at work, so he can't actually watch now, and we're gonna go over a few other Kimura details though, and we'll go Kimura from both the bottom and from the top. So just come here. So I went over yesterday different ways of getting into the Kimura though. So you're gonna come here to me though. So let's say hypothetically again, I've already got this locked up here. So let's just go over just a few things. Once we actually come here, I never want to be flat on the bat whenever I'm trying to get a finish. Mainly because there's no weight that's on his shoulders now. So what happens at times whenever people are white belts and blue belts especially, what they will do, they will get the lock in, and they're trying to actually finish right here. But if JT uses his opposite arm to basically do a one-arm push-up, go ahead, he can then start actually pushing himself up, and if you look, he's getting back into alignment with me here. And even if I'm strong right here, if he starts to actually walk around this way, as he actually does that, keep going, yeah, he'll start actually getting his arm out here. Okay, so come back. So that's why, even once you guys get this position right here, you have to also get into mind right now that there's a difference between your finishing position versus control position. And the first thing I have to do is get into actual control, meaning I'm actually inhibiting most of his movement. So whenever we are here, I have to get weight over basically at least his mid spot, if not to the opposite shoulder. In theory, I've got this shoulder right here locked down, but honestly, and this is another thing to also keep in mind, whenever you just wrap up a arm, that doesn't mean I really have weight on the shoulder. Think about driving this elbow actually into his shoulder. He feels a difference here. Now, as I'm going to actually shrimp out, now look, on your shrimping too, because I'm flat right now. Like I said yesterday, I'm not a fan of me putting a foot down because some guys are very, very athletic and slick. They'll somersault out, and then you have all sorts of problems here. So instead, what I want to do, you can normally do one of two things. I'll unlock, and this leg right here, I'm chopping down, and as I chop down right here, I'm going to slide this one up. Okay? So we do this action right here. So it lets me now put weight behind, and now we're actually going to push down. Now, try to actually push yourself up though. It's harder because again, there's weight that's actually coming down here. I still like to come here more. So instead, what you can also do, I can then take the instep right here and I hook around his thigh, meaning we're here, we hook, we turn, and then this lets me really get a lot more pressure down. Now it's a lot harder for him to be able to actually come up. Okay, so that's option one. Option two, and we'll do this right here. Let's say hypothetically, you get your Kimura, but one of the main defenses though, people will then grab on the inside part of their thigh, right here, and they make it difficult to be able to actually yank this out. So, problems here. It's hard for me just to yank out right here. Well, the first problem is though, raising up, my grip's here. Your Kimura grip in general, whenever you're gonna really attack, should not be here. On the forearm, it needs to be more here. Basically within the palm. So when we're here, I'm trying to yank out and all. What I want to do, just pay like attention right here. I'm gonna pull up. You see how right now his fingers are actually engaged, but now it opens up though the spacing. We let go, and now watch. I slide my hand in right here. Now, once I get this grip, and you can go with the thumb this way now too, I might add. So we go from the monkey paw to going with the C-clamp grip. Now I'm on the inside part of his fingers. I can rip out easily, and now we can just re-grip, hip out, and then we can actually finish. So again, again, we're here. Again, he's grabbing a hold on the inner part of his thigh. Okay, and we're gonna go over what happens if he grabs his belt in like a minute. But we're here, and again, look at how I've turned to the side here. I'm trying to yank out right here. The problem is that people will have their hand again too far up on the wrist line here, and then they start opening their legs out more. And what happens is that, again, if you look, I'm turning my back. So now he can now take his left hand, push it on my knee, hop around, and now my back's open. And now this happens again. So we actually come back here. So even though I am hipping out, I want to keep tabs on exactly how far away am I getting from his back. So when I'm here, okay, I'm keeping this knee up as high as possible. And this foot here, I'm going to keep this up too. I'm not going to drop either one of them down. They're going to be more here. And again, watch then too. As his elbow comes up, so get right here though, please, so you can just see this. And again, I'm kind of more wide out just to actually show this here. But as he pulls his elbow back in, it hides this grip here. So whenever I'm here, I'm pulling in, but I'm also pushing the forearm against his elbow just to open up, just so I can start to slide down to be able to grab a hold on the inside part of his hand now. Now we go 1 and 2. And now I turn in and I pull out now this way. Now we can make the switch back, and now you can actually then start hipping out, finishing off the movement. Last one though, from here, if he grabs a hold of his belt, so some people will grab a hold of the belt here, and it can be hard to be able to get your hand in this way. So don't even try the hand variation. To me personally, with a gi, it's just not actually worth it here. So this time I will slide up to being a little bit more over like his radial bone here, grabbing. So we're here, and I'm trying to yank out, and it's not actually working here. Okay, so what I want you to do is the following. Again, we're gonna do a small hip out, sure. But as this leg comes up, I want this leg to then go over my own wrist here. Okay, so when we actually have the grip, I want to come up here, and then this lets me actually start ripping out this way here. So again, we're here, 1, 2, grabbing over, and now we start rocking, pull. And see how I'm straightening all the way out here. You're gonna use the power of your leg to actually strip this grip off here. Okay? So we get on this side instead. I'll do it on this side a little bit better on this side with it. So we're here. Go ahead and actually grab a hold of your, yeah. So we're here again, and the more that his elbow's up, again, the harder it is to actually make the stripping actually occur. So again, we get on the side, we're gonna be up right here. We climb up 1, up 2, right here. So you see how we're over his own wrist here. We keep the legs locked, and as I push out, we straighten the back out. This helps with the stripping. And then that actually helps us to actually get the actual submission. Nico, we have any other questions though?
Yes. So Ben McAjack, he says, "Hey coach, can you do a technical breakdown of the no-gi Schultz choke?"
Oh, the what?
No-gi Schultz choke.
Oh yeah. Okay. So for people that don't know who he is, Dave Schultz was a 1984 Olympian. He was also the 1984 World Champion, and he was the Olympic champion. I want to say in freestyle wrestling. Fortunately, got killed in the Foxtrot incident, Foxcatcher incident on Foxcatcher Farms. Really good documentary too. You can look at it on Netflix. Now, come over here, go into Turtle Dough for me. So we'll go on this side in here, please. So all that it really is, it is a hidden arm choke from Turtle typically. So what happens is that the hand on this side, where we will keep palm down. The hand on this side, in front of, basically behind his armpit, goes palm up. So we're gonna come underneath, and now look. Your shoulder gets buried right here in his neckline, basically between C1 and like C2, right here. So C1, C2 right there, burying it in here. Now, to this side here though, please. And I'm gonna do this off of the knees just to actually show the actual choke mechanics here, and then I'll go over like more of a setup here. I don't want the elbow in, so we'll just actually start off right here. We get the elbow here. Now, the typical problem is that people, they want to go here and they want to grab a hold. Well, there's too much spacing here. In wrestling in general, you can do it this way now. What we're gonna show is not allowed in wrestling because the reason why it's called the Schultz headlock, Dave Schultz would turn guys over and beat them with this. And if you go back and you look at the videos, then what he was really doing is choking people out. And that's not allowed within, Olympic wrestling though. But it works for what we do. So this hand right here, the hand that goes around his neckline, we shoot in, sure, but I don't want to come here. I want to bring the forearm back to being on the side of his neck here. So we shoot it in. It's kind of like you're starting a lawnmower here. So we go in and then we come back halfway and we just stop right here. So we go in, pulling it right back right here. Your palm should essentially be over your part of your shin. The camera can get right there. Now this hand right here, it starts right here and watch how it slides down, and now we go palm to palm here. Okay? Now I'm pinching my elbows in. Now my partner, he is feeling the pressure as it is. My head goes right here. And as my head goes right down, as I TP up, we walk to here, and I'm pulling the elbow in this way. And that's how the Schultz headlock occurs now. Now do it on like this side though. So now this side right here, again, we shoot in, but again, we don't want to shoot all the way across here. Lots of guys, they actually want to come here. If you want to see stuff off the Anaconda show, let me know, and then I'll show you how we kind of transition and all. But I don't want to go here. I want to come back to here. And what happens is that your forearm catches always on a person's neck. I don't really care how big a person's neck is. It will always actually catch there. So we go in, pull, and we catch. And if you want to, you could actually even come to the chin here. Again, my shoulder goes, if you look, into his neckline here. I don't want to come here. I want to come right here because what happens is that I'm putting weight essentially on his neck, and we're going to keep him down then this way in more of a gooseneck fashion. If I put my shoulder right here, what he can always do is he can actually posture up, exactly, and then start coming up here. Exactly. And again, if you've actually grown up doing wrestling and all, this is all very familiar here. Maybe not the submission finish, but in general, the mechanics are that. Sorry about that. So you want to be here, because now if you try to actually come up more, my body weight is being centered within the shoulder on his neckline. That keeps him actually trapped down. Again, if it's on his back, he'll pop up. Even if he doesn't really know what he's doing, he will just actually pop up. So your shoulder place is very, very important here. So shoulder goes here. Again, hand right here, cutting it right back. Again, this hand right here, look, it cuts in this way. I don't want to come in here. I don't want to go palm down. We go palm up. They meet, and now watch. This elbow comes right back in to bring his arm in, so I have a space to put my head in. So if the cameraman gets over there though, as I tripod up, right, you walk to here. The last piece, as soon as I walk in, is to pull this elbow in. And that's how the tap happens. And that's your variation. You'll have other people though that will also grab the far leg and they'll actually sit through. And I just know these just from working with wrestling coach here, Trey, and a few others. That's also strong. That to me is like the best one in terms of your basic variation to actually get good at. Even if they start walking away, it then starts opening up different moves such as back takes, rollovers, etc. that you'll find both within BJJ, freestyle wrestling, etc. All of them are good at these things. But the control again starts from the front headlock itself though. When you're also here, so right back down again too. I'm showing it from me having two knees down to be nice to like my partner here. Right here, huh? In reality though, whatever shoulder that actually goes down, I want to angle myself out to where I'm coming this way versus me being straight on. If I'm straight on, some guys though, especially if they've grown up wrestling, they'll do sit outs, they can do shuck bys, etc. So I want to be here, and I want to step my leg out right here, and now watch how this foot cuts basically behind this way. You can keep that knee down, or you can be on your toes and you can be slightly elevated here. Depends on you, it depends on your level of wrestling then, but it puts that weight directly onto the neck, because even once you get here, people will be trying to actually get out, and you need to actually get them to settle down before you hit whatever the attack sequence is. Okay, thank you.
All right. Ben says thank you. We got Farbod, monoplata from Mount.
Okay.
Hey man, come on.
No, I knew he would actually like this here. There's lots of different setups. Let me just go over. Yeah, I'm gonna be mad here. There's lots of different setups and all. But what we'll do is this. And again, you can do this gi or like no gi. The trick to me is mainly just to get people to want to come up here. If they come up here, I know I can actually grab a hold of this. So once we actually come here, go ahead and actually grab around like the waist here. No, two hands grab around like the waist here. People will come here. You can do the monoplata out of like different setups. I just like this one right here, just as like a basic setup, so you can get the general concept then. So from here, I'm gonna attack this arm. I just like attacking this arm more. So what I do is, from here, I'm gonna lean towards my right and step up left here. Now from here, we make a forearm and we put it on the neckline. We push down, but as we push down, I straighten my back out. He's taller, so it takes a little bit longer of like a time to whatever. So it's fine. Now we actually go here. Now this hand now, we go C-clamp down right here, and I'll always want to have my elbow now over his bicep. So once we actually come here, I pinch his elbow right here, and we keep this arm right here wound so that he can't just slip this arm out. So we gotta go 1, 2. So we grab a hold. I lean in, and if you look, my heel comes off the ground here. If I'm flat, go ahead and start pulling out more, because there's no real pressure there. If I rise up with the heel, this lets me actually clamp in more and pull out. It's harder. In fact, no, it's not. But in fact, it actually lets me just go faster though. I'm just actually just chilling here. So, right here then, C-clamp, palm down. Sorry about that. My knee comes over right here. Now, for this maneuver here, I'm gonna open this knee out now. I personally always like coming right here, mainly because it gives me lots of options. If it's against a blue belt or higher too, my wrist lock's right there. And most guys are not gonna be looking for that. But once we actually just get this here, we open this knee out, but I put my palm down first. My palm goes down first, this foot steps up second. Here, now we open right here. Now, from here, this lets me now pass this foot over. So as I pass the foot over, you could even go to the omoplata on like this side, but since you want monoplata, that's fine. Now from here, I'm gonna turn my hips that way. Right here. The monoplata is actually on now. I'm gonna be nice to JT. So if you look, this elbow is basically in front of his. I'm gonna let it go behind here. This way I can go palm down. Here. And he actually wants to tap here, so
I can hold it down, you're good.
No, I'm just gonna actually just lessen off right here. So from here, he was actually tapping out there.
Yeah.
But from here, as I pull the heel in, where we will keep this arm bent, and I'm gonna scoot the hips out this way. That's the monoplata action right here. Okay. If I were even say with an arm bar, okay. We're in an armbar situation, I've broken him off. We're trying to get the armbar, he actually comes like right here. You rotate the elbow out then, okay, to here. Again, if you look, if the heel is not pointed towards the ground, he's fine then. But if I put the heel down, I scoot the hips around, that's when it's just gonna actually come on tight. I'm being looser, but he actually has really tight shoulders here.
Yeah.
So, just bend right there a little bit more. There we go. You always want the elbow to be bent away, and basically to have his thumb pointing in towards your low back. As long as you have this configuration right here, basically it's almost like you're doing a reverse omoplata. That's all you're really doing doing here. So as the foot's over right here, I don't like to just keep it here. Again, so I scoot the hip, turn the heel down. And then that's where the submission occurs at. Now normally I'm covering up right here more. I may even lean on the elbow and then actually do that, but again, I'm trying to be nice to like your partner. So for the people that don't know what I'm talking about with their own mill plotter though, whenever I get here too, when we come here, I'll pass the foot over. I'll scoot out this way. It's the same spot here, right here. Okay, it's literally the exact same spot, just from the opposite side now. That's all. He bends his arm more this way because whenever we go belly down, it's just more natural for you to want to bend your arm behind your back than in front here. But it's literally the exact same sequence here. So, move back. If you look right here, it's literally the exact same movement. Okay?
Yeah.
So, there. Does it make sense?
All right.
Thanks, Marlo. I appreciate it.
No, listen, you actually roll.
Oh, we're gonna roll.
I'll make him your first roll.
Craig said, poor JT today. Craig Tobin also, he says, hey, coach, can you go over arm in versus arm out guillotine?
Okay, so biggest things on these here. The mechanics are honestly the exact same. So let me go over what a lot of people do and why it's wrong. And mind you, just from studying guys like Marcelo Garcia, I think our game of this has gotten way better because now we understand the body mechanics with it. But even guys within mixed martial arts, like they screw this up all the time just because they've not put like enough time in jiu-jitsu yet. So come here. Big thing. So we'll go with like no arm first. Okay.
You want my head on the butter?
No, that's fine here. What I never want is for his shoulder to have a direct line to like my neckline. Meaning, I don't want to come straight back here. Okay? Now, let's just look at a few things here. Look at where I'm crossing my feet at. My heels are basically crossed underneath his butt. A lot of guys do this a lot. The problem is now, if JT TPs up a little bit, he draws his shoulder forward here. So go right back down again. So get right here though, so you can actually see this. So right here, I have my hands locked and all. So now, JT, as soon as he TPs up, watch what occurs. Go. His shoulder goes right here. And you hear how there's a difference in like my voice. I'll keep it here though. And so his hand now then can go around my neck and around my back right here. And if he just keeps driving forward, he's actually choking me. So that is a big time problem that a lot of people have here. And this is where the old school defense actually occurs at. If it's within the cage, if you're on like this side here, you put them up against the cage, drive your shoulder in. They will have to actually let go, otherwise they'll actually go out. Commonly, this is looked as being called the Von flu choke, because Jason Von Flu was doing this back in the UFC like 8 or 9 years ago. Because he would actually bait guys this way. So again, you don't want to actually do that. Instead, whenever you lock on, I don't want to have my feet locked here at his butt. I want them locked on whatever side of the hip, preferably, that I actually have his head on. So I want to go something like this here. Now, if JT actually TPs up, go ahead. If you look, you see how there's a gap here? I'm fine. So now, if I do a side crunch, meaning if I take my right elbow to like my right hip, and I pull the heels up, choke's on, man. But more importantly, too, my shoulder line's protected here. So whenever it comes to the arm and guillotine choke too, same way. As long as whatever the side is that you actually have the head on, that you're gonna do a small crunch and that you're gonna be on the hip line there. It looks like I'm flat, but in reality, I'm slightly tilted towards my right side here. And I'm gonna actually crunch up here. So that now, as my partner actually wants to come up, it's fine, side crunch. I mean, just hold. And whenever you do this too, I don't care how much girdling they do, like whatever, you pull in this way, and keep this crunch and count 5. So JT, try to actually hold out here, okay? Go. Go tap. It's fine. So arm in too does not matter. Arm in, what people would do normally is they actually stretch out. But the problem is though, we're here. So right here, he can't get that shoulder in, but look at his neck here, okay? If I stretch out, I'm giving him a way out. Okay? We don't actually want that. So from here, we want this shoulder to be as close in as possible. So you don't stretch yourself out, you crunch up and you crunch side always. And you crunch in, pull your hands up and your shoulder forward. And then that's what actually gives you the the same mechanics too are actually right here whenever you don't have the arm as well. So when we're here, even again, 1, 2, and in fact, the leg that's actually over the back, you kind of want that actually at the bottom right here, because this lets you pull your hips up a little bit more too. So right here is in, and then as you actually do that, that puts the pressure of the choke on then, and he can't wiggle himself out, and he can't slide his neck out then. Does that make sense?
All right.
Makes perfect sense.
Fantastic.
Let's see who we got next. Baba says, JT, I can't wait to roll with you, man.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Wait till this quarantine's done.
All right, look what we got. Hi, Keely. So Keely wants to see single leg X guard pass and preventing your opponent from immediately establishing. Now I can't say the word. Establishing X guard. Yeah.
Okay, you want a gi or do you want a no gi, Keely?
Gi or no gi, Keely? Hold on, she's typing.
That's fantastic.
Keely, gi or no
Come on,
gi?
Key.
Where you at? Let's go.
2 letters. Just say gi.
Purple bells.
Oh, no gi.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yes.
no gi it is. So it's funny though. I'll say this too. A friend of mine, he's also a Alliance black belt. His name is John Thomas. That's without a H. So JONTHOMAS. Look him up on Instagram too. It's funny because I was showing this to someone a few days ago, and he actually put up a video gi-wise of how he normally passes the single leg X. We do it almost the same way. He just has a different entry on how he does his on how he does a knee cut, and he's extremely good at it. So look him up too. And all really good teacher. So let's put me in the single leg X real quick. So single leg X. No, that's X bar right there. Single leg X right here. Okay, so we're just gonna move like right here and all. Here are the problems here. The main problem is just gonna be this foot here, because if he's playing it just right, if you look at how flat he is against me, let's him actually push me. And if he's gonna actually push me, it actually exposes the heel now. So once you especially have the ability to do knee bars, toe holds, etc., I've got to keep this heel down as much as possible. If I bring that heel up, I better be pretty much slick. This way I can actually do like whatever. But whenever you're first gonna actually go over like stuff like this, I like to be a little more careful. So let's actually just move here. So from here, the first thing that I do, I don't want to be straight up, because the more that I become straight up, he can actually maneuver me a little bit too much, I feel. Now, it does give me the ability, if I lean, if he tries to push in on me, try to actually push in on me. See, it's harder now. But the problem is, though, most people, whenever they come up, they come here, push on me. Now he can actually push me. Now he actually exposes his heel. So if you want to do passes ever where you have to come straight up, that's fine. Just don't look over at your partner. Push your hip forward, and then all the pushing pressure is then basically gone here. Okay? So from here, though, I like to personally turn my hips to his opposite shoulder and squat a little bit. This hand right here goes to the instep right here too. Okay, lots of guys, they still play it this way, thankfully, which is wrong. They should be playing it this way. But a lot of guys, they still go this way, so let's just take advantage of like this here. I turn my hips here, and we squat, but my hand goes right here. Anywhere on that instep right here, because this basically is the elevation method. So even if he drops his foot down, drop this one down, and then if he kicks up, see how he can actually kick up right here. So I know that he can do that at any point in time. He can do this without the gi too. No gi, or sorry, with the gi it's a little more common, but no gi, this is also a really good elevator too. This way we can go into X, reverse X, all that mess. So I want to kill this elevator too. So we squat, we turn the hips. My hand goes basically underneath my crotch, and we're making the C-clamp right here. And now look, I'm basically sitting on my own hand here. So the weight of me is going behind him. So we killed this already. So we get right here. Now, this hand right here, I'm gonna basically just lean barely. We lean and my hand slides up. And now I find his toes and we point those out right here. Now, once I pass those out, I like to do this. We have the hand right here. I'm gonna shove this foot down, but this hand goes to his knee. Can you do this one-handed? It's possible, but once people start becoming purples and browns, I just don't underestimate you in whatever slick mess that you may actually have. So once we actually start clearing, don't push here. See, this is not gonna actually work. Go and find his toes, rotate those out to here. Now we squat down, but look at how I'm putting the foot down right here. I'm not putting it underneath my butt. I'm putting it just down right here. Now we can just actually come to, I said. And as I said, if you look, my hand goes right here. Reason being, I don't want him to keep an arm around me because maybe he can use his hand to push him out and then he goes right back into things here. And if you look, my heel's actually exposed on like this side. So whenever I pass this way, just know now I'm always gonna actually shoot for that underhook always, because that keeps me safe. So we're here again. And again, from here, you squat, we turn, your hand finds the instep right here. And I'm pushing his heel basically into like the crack of his butt. Okay? Now I lean the upper body, find his toes, and we whip it out right here. Now from here, 1, 2, you sit, and the hand always goes towards the underhook right here. Because it doesn't matter where he goes now.
It's not
yeah. One, he can't really get the elevation that he wants. 2, if he scoots himself out that way, go right ahead. That's fine. I'm taking this arm. Okay. If for whatever reason he shouldn't do this, but let's say if he really wants to bail out that way, cool. You give me the back then, just like I want to. So I'm setting up trap-wise, so you have to get the underhook right there. Don't just put your hand wherever. You have to get it that way. And if you do it this way, as you can see, it's hard to try to get your feet fed back in, so you can get an X guard and all. So that's one way. The second way, though, I'm gonna give you 2 ways here. Second way, though, again, he goes right here. If you don't feel like squatting, that's fine. What you're gonna have to do is rotate, meaning, let me get it up for you, so you guys can actually get it right here. From here, though, we're gonna still squat. Now look, I don't want this foot to be close either because he has no business actually being able to grab a hold of the ankle here. If he gets the ankle there, I'm probably gonna get put on like my butt, or he can go X guard or whatever he wants then. I'm gonna go out right here, and now we squat. From here to here. So now look, and this is one again, John does like a really good breakdown on his Instagram and on his YouTube too, so please actually check that out. But we're here, and he's pinching right down. And look at how I'm dropping my butt underneath his butt. I'm not going over his hips. Right here, there's too much off balancing right here. So we gotta be right here. Instep again. Now we're gonna find his toes. But as we find his toes, and as I push this down, now watch this. So get on like this side here. I'm gonna rotate my knee in, and now watch. I'm gonna push myself up, head down this way. And as I do that, my opposite foot comes over this way. And now we just land right here. You can keep this all day, it doesn't matter. I can drop that knee down. And now I'm basically doing knee rides here. Okay? So again, here, again, I'm still gonna step, turning those hips out. We're gonna squat down. In step, find his toes. C-clamp out that way. I'm gonna come out. I push myself up and we cut behind. We come right down now here. Because typically I'll grab a hold like right around the back of your head, and now slip this knee in right here. This is old school here, but pressure definitely breaks most people. Does this make sense?
All right.
Thanks, Keely.
Any other ones are like?
Yeah, next we got Leonid Bernstein.
Yep.
I don't know if I pronounced that right or not, but close enough. How to steal a hand from side control on top.
All right, so how to steal a hand from the side. Go down again. Put your head like this way though. So side control here. We have to isolate out the arm. This works with the gi too. In fact, I like doing this more with the gi because I can use the handles to help actually push down. No, let me just show this like no gi. No gi is where a lot more people where they'll have problems here. So we're here and we're playing the position here. Now, something that I've gotten away from doing over like the years, mainly because I'm just getting older, so like joints hurt more just from wars. I don't like to always gable grip. I'll hug his hands in instead. So I'm hugging my body to him, and I'm acting like he's a piece of bread, so I'm just spraying like, you know, mustard chest-wise like right here. So it's more of a spreading pressure versus just me trying to actually squeeze as much as possible, mainly because as you guys get older, you're not gonna be able to just actually squeeze and just hold a person down, or if you do, you'll be one of these older guys that will then cry and whine about being tired after like one round of rolling. So you never want to be that guy. So what you want to do is I hug. So the hand that goes behind his head normally, I put that hand on his shoulder. The other one then just enforces, and then I just hug this way and I spread. The reason why I do it, one of the problems whenever you're within side control, the issue is whenever his elbows are in, it's hard to get any sort of attack off. So I have to get his elbows as far away from his body as possible. They can go away from the body this way, or they can go away from the body this way. There's really only two ways here, and that's on both sides, okay? So because of that, I go, okay, especially let's say if he's bigger and he's stronger, you want to use reverse psychology on people, especially if you happen to be smaller or you're just not as strong, in terms of going, okay, typically whenever you put a person here, most people, they have a lot of ego. Forget about this whole no ego mess. That's nice in theory. That's like me not paying taxes. That's nice in theory. That's not what reality is. They're going to want to bench press you off some. Everybody wants to actually do that. There are safe ways to do that where it's actual technique, and then there's crappy ways that gets you into a whole bunch of trouble here. So I'm going up against a guy that's a blue belt. He's an experienced guy. He's heard me complain in regards to this. So we're basically running the strategy based off of that. So we're here. I'm hugging because, again, if I hug and then he wants to get away, he has to push his arms in for me. Exactly. Okay? So I know that this is going to happen here. So if you look, he's also going to be getting this knee in. Now, the reason why I'm going through all these things here is that whenever I do the arm isolation, you have to be aware of the fact that he's going to want to get this shoulder up, push out, and then get this knee to elbow connection right here. So there are multiple things that you have to basically shut off early. So we come back here. So whenever I'm here, now, if you look, you see how there's this gap, right? I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna connect my hip to basically the top of his thigh here. So we come here, I go live toes to here. I'm still gonna actually hug. Now, go ahead and do your escape sequence now. You see how he can't really get his hips engaged. Now what's gonna happen is he has to actually push me now. You gonna push? No, use your arm to actually push me. Come in here. See, unfortunately he knows like what I'm doing here. But you see how now we've already started actually isolating out now. And we're going a little bit more old school here, but that's fine. I keep walking. I want his elbow to go past the line of his shoulder here. If he's here, he'll fight me all day. So I lean my chin close to his ear, and we come right here. Now we chop up and in right here. Now his arm's isolated. You can use it for different ways of getting in. In fact, I've done a few videos on like this stuff as it is already, but that's one way to actually get that full-on isolation though. So again, make sure that your hip contacts like with his hip. This way you know then he can't just slip like a knee in. Again, he's long and lanky. He can actually do that too. So you actually do that, isolate out, and then you start then to actually just spider walk your way up. Keep your chin over like his ear line though, and you'll always be able to get that elbow then past his shoulder. Once that actually happens, depending on whatever you want to actually tap, just go.
Sweet.
All right.
And we'll go with like one more because we've already actually just went over them, more than what we actually normally do, but one more.
I think that's it for the questions, man.
Oh,
so
there we
far.
go then. All right, so tomorrow, guys, 11:30, we'll go back over more no-gi close guard, and otherwise, see you guys later. Bye. Thank you.
Cool.